Hi Pisces, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your reading for June and the rest of the year. I'm excited to be here with you to take a look at your cards. I'm going to take a look at your sun, moon, and rising today, and I'm about to give you a couple announcements. I've been focusing on my Pick a Card channel, which is now up at youtube.com/pick-a-card. As you guys may know, I started Pick a Card on YouTube. I adapted it from a different game that wasn't on YouTube and put it on here for you guys to play. So I hope you guys support me in the channel and go check it out. Also, I'm going to add in an extra ad for these longer videos. The reason for this is that YouTube is a free platform for everybody to use, but of course they're a business, so it's fair for us to monetize in order to garner revenue for themselves and us. And I don't use any of their other monetization options, and I don't want to. So this is a way for me to support the channel. So I'm going to do the one of the monetization now, and then we'll come back and do one other one between the two readings. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is a reading for Pisces for June. My name is Veroosh. Nice to meet you. We're going to do two readings for June and for the rest of the year. This reading is for June and the rest of the year, and we're doing a nice big fat tarot reading, okay? Let's take a look at your cards. Your first card is the Queen of Wands. I think that might be a little too risque for YouTube these days, so I'm going to cover up the nip. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, a Sag, a Leo, or an Aries, sun, moon, or rising. There's someone who is in some way, around you at this time who is giving you insight and information about which way you're supposed to go. I feel like there is a fiery Pisces energy at this time in which Pisces are really within their element, and I feel like you're more inclined to do things that you would normally hold back on. So you're really going into Piscean energy as a free spirit at this time. To others, this may show up as a Queen of Wands, but I feel like many of you are reflected by this card. Here is the next message. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So overwhelmingly a positive change in fortune for a positive direction. Remember, Lilith is in your first house, so you want to leave your energy really high. You don't really want to in any way kind of begrudge any energy, lower it, anything like that, because I feel like with that kind of lower vibration, I feel like you're the most psychic sign and one that can easily manifest your thoughts into reality. And if you do that kind of energy, what can happen is that you can get sort of bring in your fears and other subconscious effects on your life that can impede your growth or impede your success and the directions that you're going. So you got to be mindful. With great power comes great responsibility. The next one is the Last Judgment. This is the card of Pluto. A big decision has been made about your life, and so I feel like you're on the foothills or the beginning of some large decision, a change in decision. I feel like maybe this is you making a decision. I started actually filming this before, but I got sidetracked and then other things came up. And what happened, excuse me, I had to collect myself. What happened was that there was a I was talking about Rihanna, that's it. And she just has taken over one of the big fashion houses in Europe as a independent designer, and congratulations to her. I think she's just boss and so proud of her for that. But I feel like this is the energy of Pisces right now, and I've been talking about that in the readings for a while. I'm actually going to do a dedicated video on Rihanna and her transits to explain how Pisces energy works. That will be on the Tarot T channel, which is youtube.com/Tarot T. But this energy has a lot to do with you, with abundance and growth, prosperity. Do you see all the 10s coming in? 10, 10, 10. All these exciting energies of change, decision, new beginnings. And I think you're walking into that very full of a lot of energy. The next message is the moon. So I feel like that's your card though. I feel as though there's a certain hidden feelings about things that are sort of holding you back at times. Maybe you'd go faster if you didn't have certain thoughts or ideas really rushing at you, and you have to navigate them in order to decide which direction you want. But this is Pisces sort of like having taken in all the information that the world has been giving you. Having taken in all the information the world has been giving you, you're in some way directing your energy towards all these different outcomes. Just like Rihanna, like she's been making clothes, I think, for a while now. I think she's been she was definitely making makeup. And now the Fenty, I think it's a Fenty brand, is becoming its own fashion house. And we know she's got incredible fashion, and she always has. She's always, in my mind at least, stood really apart from a lot of celebrities, or most celebrities. And so I feel like there's this kind of energy of consolidation. It's like you've been picking apart information, or putting together information all your life for this moment, and now it's coming together, and you're that real focused energy towards your outcomes. The next card is the Eight of Cups, and what this represents is Saturn in Pisces. This is, Saturn in Pisces? I think so. And so what this represents is that there's a degree of walking away from the things that are no longer serving you, the things that have in some way impeded your growth, the things that have in some way made you dull, made you feel dull about things, or made you feel back off. I feel like the things that have been holding you back are no longer as emotionally engaging, and the things that you have been caught up with emotionally, you're now releasing, and you don't care about them as much, which allows you freedom from them. The next message is the Ace of Swords. This is a powerful reading. So I feel like there's going to be a very clear communication about which way you go. This can be communication from yourself, or this could be communication coming from someone else to you that you're going to navigate. I have these cards here for further information. I feel like it's a big decision after you don't care about something so much. Then there's a breakthrough moment, some amazing communication that is going to in some way allow you to part the ways and go forward, taking a new direction in your life. Okay, so I have 4 more cards. You can see they all have different backgrounds, but this deck is just one deck, so I just take what's on top for further information. I feel like the moon represents that you have very clouded feelings towards which direction you're going, and I feel like there's guilt associated with wanting to walk away. There's guilt with wanting to walk away, and with taking control over something. There's this kind of guilt, for lack of a better term. And then we have the Promise in the Northeast. So these are directional cards. It means promise in the Northeast. I feel like you're standing behind something very, very strongly. And I feel like you're standing behind something very strongly, and you're very excited. You already know that you're going in a big direction. You already know that the energy is with you. Here is the next message. We have the Rainbow Warrior, number 23. So I feel like in some way you're going in your own direction, totally different than the people that you know or the people that you're interacting with. This is Jupiter and this is Pluto. So Jupiter is Pluto's conjunct right now, Ras Al Haleg, just for a few days at the time of filming. That means the desire to heal something that has been broken. And then we have and then that's Jupiter, and then Pluto's in a conjunction with Saturn in the South Node in Capricorn. So that for you is, what is that? Is that that must be your, let me see. That must be your 11th house, right? So friendship, healing friendship, being bold, moving towards friendship in a bold way, deciding to take someone back, and leaving some things behind that are necessary. I feel like the moon represents you, but also I think it represents your feelings towards the matter. which could signify that you're still feeling kind of on the fence about this. Things you're still feeling on some little part of you. The majority of you wants to move forward and wants to succeed, and it's confident that it can do so, but there's a little part of you that's still perplexed, which is probably something really normal for people. Then we have Mastery, which is the Chariot card. Let me show you close up. This is the card of Cancer. Now the moon, you can be interpreted as Cancer as well, because astrologically the moon is ruled by Cancer. So you come into realization regarding a matter that you had been suspended about, something that was delayed, something that you emotionally couldn't get through. And I think as you come to realize those lessons, once you come to realize those lessons and start hearing the promise that you've made for yourself, the one that's independent of indignation, speculation from other people, once you release those things, then I feel like that will in some way allow you to rise above the circumstances that you have been dealing with. Here is the next message. We have Nurturing the Southwest. And so I feel like I think that you feel like you have a very clear mission that you're supposed to take in a particular direction. So there's definitely something that you are trying to achieve or go in a certain direction for a specific reason. I feel like you're finally doing the thing that you want to do in life. I feel like you're finally doing the thing that you've been called to do. You're emotional. I think you finally feel what you need. Okay, so let's take a look at your animal oracle cards. I'm going to pick 3. There we go. So basically, I think it's like a maternal call to action. That doesn't mean you have to have kids, but you're being led to this direction creatively. Let's see your cards. So your first card is the Mouse Spirit. Tend to the small. There's little things that have been an obstacle, and as you feel like you've pretty much completed the majority of your learning in this capacity. And one of the frustrating things you've been feeling is that you in some way, one of the frustrating things you feel is that you in some way one of the frustrating things you feel is that you in some way feel like you've been ready, but it seems like there was a lot of different things that got in the way, and you didn't understand which things to change. It's like you changed so many things, but you weren't getting progress, and now you've adjusted the little things. Sometimes unbeknownst to you, some of the changes you've made were just coincidental. The next message is the Whale Spirit, trust the great mystery. Okay, so I think that you're very much going in some type of direction, and I think that there are broadening horizons for you. I think where you're going is sort of unprecedented, and I feel like you don't necessarily know what's going on or what directions you are going to face. I don't think there's anyone to tell you either what you're about to go through, which is a very powerful experience. The next message is the Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. So like like what I told you about manifestation, you're manifesting your own kind of tapestry at this time, and I feel like the choices that you'll be making over the next 6 months are going to be very initiatory of the new experience of your life. So I'm going to take the second break now. I'm going to clean up the cards, and then we'll do the second reading, okay? So you guys can hear me. I'm just putting the cards back while we do the break. I'm just trying to. So yeah, it feels like an unprecedented. I'm surprised I didn't see the Fool in your spread, because it feels very much like a new energy. And I'm going to be using the cards from the first spread in the second spread, which you guys will see in a moment. Okay. All right. I'm just shuffling them. All right. So the way I do this is I take these cards that we used in the first deck. I gave them a shuffle, you know, and then I'll set them to the side as I'm doing your second reading. We'll clarify with them and we'll make connections. I did see on the bottom that there was this Eight of Swords. I do sense that there has been a big burden on your shoulders, or you've been feeling a big burden, or you've been feeling a certain type of way. You've not been feeling well about circumstances. You've been feeling a certain type of way about things. It's not been pretty, frankly. And I feel like it's been to do with communication. So it's like the things that were said, or the things that you said that you regret, have been hanging over your head and stopping progress. Let's see your first card. This is the John Holland deck. You can get it in my shop. So we have emotional withdrawal, the Eight of Cups. And so this is Saturn in Pisces, right? So we have Saturn in Pisces here. That's the same card. Completely emotionally withdrawing from circumstances, but it's because you have kind of come into some kind of understanding about yourself and your life and other people. So the peace that you feel in terms of feeling apologetic towards people, or feeling apologetic for what you want. I feel like Rihanna's move to become the world's next fashion superhero, or she has already been, but her act to start a fashion house is actually a representation of the Piscean energy right now, where you kind of come into your power and you're so confident, and you're so awakened to what matters to you, and you, out of the haze and confusion, you see what is most important, you know. You see what is most important. The next message is the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords represents mental conflict in this deck, but it actually also represents peace. That in some way two things can coexist and be mutually exclusive. What I mean about that is that you have two situations in which they are sort of conflictual. You have two kids that don't like each other. You have a boss and another boss who don't like each other. Or maybe you have one boss who wants to take lunches at 1, one boss who wants to take lunches at 2. And so you're constantly and perpetually through this time embroiled in some level of mental conflict. That mental conflict is caused by the fact of the duplicity. Now here's the crazy part. Your mental conflict is sourced from, or based from, the fact that it's based from the fact that you, in your mind, inside your mental mind, are actually bicameral. Like, not just the bicameral brain, right? But you have two opinions about things at this time. So you haven't chosen one specific path. And I think that's what this time frame between June and the end of the year is about, choosing that one specific path. And as you choose the one specific path, it's like then you will be much more effective. Like Rihanna, go for it, achieve this. She's here, there, she's everywhere. She's such a Pisces, right? And then we have the whale spirit, trust the great mystery. And what this represents is that there is I feel like the fact that you haven't chosen one specific path or one specific road for a minute, the fact that it's all been all over the place and you feel so different. It's like when you go to school and you don't have the pants that all the other kids have, all the other pants that the other kids have, and you start getting kind of frustrated with the situation, and you start wondering, like, what's so fair in all of that, right? We have the whale spirit, trust the great mystery. In all of this, you will now begin to see how all the events leading up until this moment have actually contributed to where you are now. So that ambiguous haze you've been in is actually a part of the process. Next, we have the Hanged Man. And what this represents is that once you realize this, you'll realize that you need pause, that you'll need to pause, you'll need a break. You need for time to catch up with you, Pisces. I feel like if you pause and wait this month, good things will come in for you as a byproduct of this. If you pause and wait this month, good things will be on the heels of your good fortune. Here is the next message. We have the Ace of Swords again. Communication is key. You will be receiving important communications this month. So we're getting Ace and Ace. Communications. Someone will ask for your answer and you'll basically say, you know, I'm taking my time. And whereas before you were frustrated because an answer wasn't coming, now in some way you're the one who is actually in charge of when the answer will be the outcome. You're in charge, essentially, Pisces. Here is the next message. We have the Empress, the fertility card. Maybe for some of you guys, the biological clock is ticking. This is where the confusion is. The division between fertility and success. This is coming really strong up for Rihanna right now. And of course, she can have a child whenever she wants. She's unstoppable. But I feel like these decisions she's making about her career have a lot to do with this. It's that, again, that two-sidedness. So we see her choosing that path of work. Now she can do that. She can afford it, you know, she can manage it, but maybe she has personal reasons why she's choosing one or the other or not. That's her business. But I feel like that is a kind of an archetype, or that is a symbol of what you're sort of dealing with. There's something that's pressing you to do with maternal energy or the divine feminine to push forward at a time when you feel like you really want to wait, Or maybe your mother will send you some type of communication while you're chilling like a villain. She's going to want you to in some way put forward something and push you while you're in some kind of solitude. If it's not your mother, it's another maternal figure who's sort of demanding of something. She's reminding you to tend to the small things, like we saw with that's what your mother or that maternal figure is telling you, okay? Here's the next card. We have Deception and Envy. So you've been poisoned by other people's deception and envy of you. That's why you need to retract and kind of be by yourself. The next message is emotional loss. When you realize this friend has not been a friend to you, it kind of throws you out of balance altogether, because you really trusted that situation. You thought it was yours to trust. You put your trust in a relationship with someone that wasn't necessarily helpful. Although it hurts, we have the Sacrifice card with the rainbow, and we have the Rainbow Warrior. They're two different decks. You come out of that very strongly. You come out of that in a way that feels like empowered and powerful, unscathed. Yes, it sucks that people are bad, but you are pushing forward in a confident way, pushing aside the low vibrations, knowing that whoever is thinking in a low vibrational way is thinking in such a way because of their own insecurities, and it's not your place. Your place to heal them is to show them that it's not okay. So in order to show them it's not okay, you walk away rather than confront. Confronting will only give them justification in order to feel entitled to their position, right? Okay. Next we have the Four of Wands. So something beautiful is happening in and around your house. You're making a decision about your house. You might be signing a contract. Now remember, with the house situation right now, there could be, with your house situation right now, you want to get on that as soon as possible, because we have in your 5th house, depending on your personal chart, but in the solar chart, moon chart, or rising chart that you have, in the 5th house in July, we're going to have a Mercury retrograde. So contracts, things you want to get out of the way in June and make decisions about that. The next message is you're going to make the right decision. Stand your ground. It's not necessarily that there is something really bad on your doorstep. It's that you're still you're self-doubting yourself. It shows up again and again. Self-doubting yourself. Here is the next message. We have the crown chakra. Your mother understands. You might be, I feel like some of you are snarling when I'm saying this. Some of you guys are not happy to hear what I said. And I know that a lot of people have issues with their mothers. And you know, it's not a comment on your relationship. It's the health, and even in a difficult relationship, there's a maternal energy, divine masculine, feminine energy that is reaching you, that is trying to guide you and out of your own way. It's trying to guide you out of the direction that you're going, and it's probably in the northeast of where you are. There's a promise there for you. So think of in your city or in your state or even in your country, what is northeast of you and what is being promised over there? Because I suspect it's very special. Okay, so next message is we have the Ace of Rods. So you're going to understand why that person or those people did what they did. So the betrayal of trust, you're going to learn it, and it's going to change your opinion. And that's going to be a good thing. You're going to feel much better about that situation. And then we have the third eye chakra. So you're going to have an expansion of consciousness. And I felt it this way with the Rainbow Warrior and the Hanged Man. And there's a rainbow here. Look at all these rainbows. This is a wonderful event. So many rainbows together. That's very good luck. Look at this. There's Rainbow Warrior. And then we have the rainbow over the house and the rainbow from the woman's hands. Okay. Or it's from her flower, right? I'll show you guys closer. Let's see. Okay. So, where was I? Okay, third eye chakra and passion ignited. This is the third eye chakra, right? The space between your eyes. And this is the Ace of Rods. So I feel like from a disappointing situation, you bounce back really, really strong. Here is the next, wow, another ace. Okay, so you have 3 aces already. Love begins, the Ace of Cups. This is, and another rainbow. Look at this, rainbows lined up. Wow. This has to do with something in the middle of your month, in the middle of June. Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Good luck. That's very, very good luck. New relationship, new awareness in the home, blessings in the home, wonderful things. And then we have the solar plexus chakra. And what this represents is you're being encouraged strongly to pursue something, to go after something, make your dreams real. This maternal energy wants you to activate your energy. It wants you to, in some way, really put into action what your kundalini, the crown chakra, what the universe wants for you. It's time now. So just like our example, Rihanna, she's putting out this fashion line, which I think is like not only a big accomplishment for her, it's the first time the woman's led a fashion house in Europe in like 20 years. I don't even know how long. So it's like a bunch of firsts for people of color, which is even better. Congratulations again. So I feel like, to me, that's a symbol. It's a huge symbol of the progress and the transformation. Here is the next message. We have the transformation card, which is the card of Scorpio. But this is also taking the plunge and taking the next step forward. Start your own fashion line. Start your own makeup brand. Whatever you feel you need to do. It's like biting the bullet and going for it. Okay, so next we have the one that I have to cover up. Some of these cards are very few things on these cards are inappropriate for YouTube, but I need to just cover them up. So we have the Queen of Wands, and this is you. The more that I see this is the transformation you are going through in June. I feel like you're starting off the month with a low energy, and in the mid-month something really comes through, all these rainbows coming straight down, that empowers you to kind of be this Queen of Wands. I see Rihanna very often as this energy, just full of life and full of passion. Here is the next message. 3 of Cups. So the person who betrayed you, or the person who you're so disappointed about, I feel like you will have an opportunity to reconcile and have a reunion, improve your circumstances. And then we have the Two of Cups. So once you understand things, then I think you'll have a second opportunity at this relationship. If it's not with that specific person, then somebody else is coming into your life who exudes that loving energy and who connects with you through the learning that you experienced through the disappointment with the other person. So I hope that makes sense. So the disappointment that you had felt towards a betrayal is now being recycled, renew, reuse, recycled into a new relationship, or a reiteration of the same relationship in which you get a second chance to express your love. Here is the next. Oh wow, and then we have a shooting star. You guys better make a wish on this right now. We have the Eight of Rods, shooting star, a new opportunity, new hope. I feel like there is new opportunity and hope. You wished on something. It doesn't look like a blessing is coming into your life from your house. Then we have the Nine of Rods, okay? And so I feel like when you realize you have to do what you got to do, then I feel like that's when you will come into action. I'm like, why is this taking so long? I just realized I gave you guys an extra row. That's okay. You guys needed it. That was also symbiotic. And then there's the Fool. Okay, rewind. In the last reading, I was like, I'm surprised the Fool didn't show up. What? And it's the last card. Come on, you guys. This is the new beginning. So this is the death, transformation, and new beginning. You're going to be called upon to make a change and initiate that change. I deserve a like for that. That's some awesome shit. And this is the Mastery, the Chariot, overcoming all of this and nurturing in the Southwest. So you may have to literally go into the Southwest, or it's time for you to nurture an aspect of yourself. Here is the next card, the Waiting Game. That's the perfect, I'm going to call this reading the Waiting Game, because it is all about the right time and the right energy coming into your life. Okay, so let's do the Lenormand to clarify this big reading. Let's see, typically I do this reading on Vimeo. This month I'm doing it differently, so just go over to Vimeo and figure out what's going on there. So we have the Clock. Waiting on something too long. You entered into a relationship too soon because you had been waiting too long, and you sort of went for something that wasn't for you, and you went for something that wasn't for you, and then it was the wrong situation, so you got hurt. The next message is the Rider. New person's definitely coming into your life, or someone has learned a lesson and now they're coming back in to bring you a lot of abundance and love. Then we have the Garden. Stand your ground. I feel like there's a lot of things to be had. It's like when we garden, or when we have crops, there's certain times when you have to do certain things to plants in order to support them, in order to cultivate them. You have to prune them, you have to water them. This is the time for action with regard to the things in your life. I think it's time for someone to come in. If you're single, it's time for someone to come in. Then we have the Friend. Yeah, so fundamental change in friendship. A disappointment teaches you some kind of self-awareness, challenges you to change the way that you think. They're disappointing you, but you're the one who's growing because of it. The Cross at the center. Responsibility. You signed up for something before. And now it's time for you to put your effort behind what you have initiated before. And it's going to be oncoming is a time in which you have to figure out the direction and which direction you're going to commit to, which direction you're going to take. The next message is the Flowers. A friend, in time, a friend is going to bring a consolidatory message. This almost feels like you and a group of friends where you feel betrayed, and then suddenly one or two of those friends come to you after a period of isolation. Here is the next message. We have the Bridges card. the responsibility is your bridge towards the new direction. Challenging the status quo of your life, opening up to this new possibility of love and friendship, that's a heavy challenge. It's a hard challenge for you to face, but one that you're willing to take, and as you take it, you open up to immense possibilities, lots of possibilities. And then we have a child, so something new. The child is very similar to the Fool, so a new beginning. And on the bottom we have a woman, and so maybe that's you in some way, or maybe this is regarding a woman, but I think you're definitely going in a certain direction or taking a certain course of action. Again, these cards have a little bit of adult themed images. So I'm going to pick a couple angel cards and then a couple tokens. I have 3. Okay, so by the way, I picked the Strength card over top of the woman. So this woman, this mother figure, is very important to you. Here is the next cards. We have, okay, hold on. So your message is courage, okay? So some friend has to go against the group to be your friend, and I feel like they're coming back around. So it could be even a situation involved with shaming, or a situation in which things are not fair between people, and you have to give them time to come around. So if you feel isolated, in time they'll find their ways, and they're going to compensate you. They know it's wrong, and they know the situation is not right. They just don't know, you know, public group things are kind of crazy. Here is the next message. We have flexibility. So I feel like the flexibility to do with the cross has to do with the fact that in some way you have a responsibility, that in some way you don't want to fulfill that responsibility. You want to be free, you want to do this, you want to do that. But I feel like it's your flexibility of approach towards that energy that is so vitally important. The next message is inspiration. So yeah, you'll go around in circles with all the different things that are coming up for you until you find that one thing that inspires you so much. Okay, so now I'm going to find a couple of tokens. Okay, so the tokens that we have is Uranus, which is the Fool, right? New beginning. And then we have Cancer. This is Venus in Cancer. I forget, we saw the Chariot card come up, right? Here, let me find it. There it is. So it might be involving a Cancer. It really wanted to go to this 5 of Cups. So did a Cancer disappoint you? Someone with a Sun, Moon, or rising Cancer sign? I think that by the time the Sun is in Cancer, which is July, that will be clarified, okay? Here is the next message. So this is not Taurus. This is the divine masculine, the God. And so a responsibility towards a man, you need more flexibility in your mind with regard to that. And then we have communication and Mercury. And this is the 9 of Cups. Or this is the Rider, bringing in communication into your life. We have Virgo here with the Ace of Cups. Inspiration, new love, new friendship. We have the fire signs over here with the Hanged Man. This is regarding a situation involving a fire sign caused delays. Now this is interesting because we saw the Queen of Wands come up right away in your first reading. So I feel like there is possibly a man or a woman fire sign with possibly water sign transit. So that's Sag, Leo, Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And we have the Moon, which is the home. Cancer, Pisces, lots of messages for Cancers and Pisces here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Sorry it got long because of the extra row, but I think it was really transformative and powerful. So I hope you guys are doing well. June looks like a month of courage and inspiration and growth, and I think that if you are patient enough, it's there for you, even if you don't see it yet. Okay? Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful month. And go get some Vimeos. I've been hearing from people that they really like the Vimeos because I can use more informal language and we go into the more technical side. So if you like more advanced astrology and tarot concepts, it's mostly on Vimeo. It works better there. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Talk to you soon. Bye.